Hello, this is Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger with another California report. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the historic budget reforms that were included in our state budget agreement. Throughout my administration, I have been through 7 budget negotiations now. Now this is putting it nicely, by the way, because they were really like budget brawls. The fights were always the same, about the same things, cutting spending or should we raise taxes. And you know what? It's the same fight that other governors had to fight. Ronald Reagan and Jerry Brown had to fight those. It's the same fight that George Duke Major and Pete Wilson and Gray Davis had. This is because for decades California has suffered from a broken budget system. And I've been talking about that for years. The heart of the problem is that California lacks a true rainy day fund. When the economy is strong, Sacramento never sets money aside for the inevitable downturn. We know the saying, what goes up must come down. The same is with the economy. Now, in a perfect world, Sacramento will restrain itself from spending all this money. But no. It's like asking Rush Limbaugh to not talk about conservative issues. Now, in 2000, for example, during the dot-com boom, revenue spiked by 23%. Now, that was a sugar high. Sacramento had so much fun spending every dime. All that money was spent. But then came the economic downturn. And all of a sudden the sugar is gone and we came down off that high. And we didn't have enough money to fund all of the programs that were so important to us all. With this feast and famine approach, the elderly and the disabled lived in constant fear for their benefits and worried that their benefits would be slashed. And parents worried whether their children's music programs or sports programs would be cut or teachers would be laid off. And businesses never knew when the next massive tax increase is coming. Our budget is like a roller coaster ride where people have to hold on for dear life. Now this is no way to run a family, it's no way to run a business, and it's certainly no way to run a state. But finally, we got it. Finally, this year we got it. We got the budget reforms that I have been fighting for. But let me tell you something. It's only half of the battle, because now the voters have to approve it. Our constitutional amendment will go before the voters in 2012. And when that gets approved, then we will smoothen out our spending once and for all. It forces Sacramento to save money in the good years and to cushion the blow in the bad years. And it creates a rainy day fund up to 10% the size of our general fund. So if our general fund is $100 billion, let's say, we will have to put aside $10 billion. And transfer to the fund will be mandatory, not voluntary. And here's the great part. The money could only be taken out when there's truly a rainy day. If this had been in place for the last 10 years, we would have had an extra $12 billion going into this economic downturn. And it would have saved so many wonderful programs. This is the reform that will help us end the budget chaos. This is the reform that will help put our finances on solid ground for generations to come. Because for too long, California's government has been tumbling down that path of financial ruin and despair. But let me tell you something. I don't want to tell you that this is the thing that will solve it all. No, there's other things that need to be done. For instance, tax reform, to create more stability in our revenues. Then the pension reforms that we have just approved and that we finally got those reforms, they will have to kick in. They will have an effect on our budget. And after all, the legislators has to stop spending the money that we don't have. Because continuously they spend more money and they promise more than we can deliver. So those are the things that still need to be done. But the bottom line is, with the approval of these reforms, California will move a step closer to fiscal sanity and be able to stand up again, dust ourselves off, and start the slow but steady march back towards prosperity. And that's what it's all about. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you for listening.